three-point game. Anthony, with 3 seconds left, has to put it up in the corner. Swanigan, no! And that's how it ends. Utah, with the help of a horrendous missed call, holds on to a 1-7.
You see this? This is the face of a man who has just been robbed of a potential extra 5 minutes of game time because of an egregious call by the refs. The same guy who had just scored 42 points up to that point. The same guy who had made this shot just a minute earlier. The same guy who is carrying his team on his back to stay in the playoff hunt as he leads the league in minutes per game. This man is Damian Lillard. We're currently in the All-Star weekend in the NBA. One of the players that will be taking part is Damian Lillard, or at least he was until he got injured. It seems like Lillard hasn't been in the league for that long, but he has been in the league since 2012. During that time, he has accomplished a lot and has created many memorable moments. However, it still seems like his name isn't mentioned nearly as much as it should. As Stephen Curry is dealing with an injury, Lillard has elevated his game and may have taken Curry's place for top point guard in the league, at least for the time being. Today I want to look at Lillard's career, recapping his rise to stardom and why, despite his superstar level of play, he's still underappreciated. Let's get into it. The underappreciation of Lillard's talent started before he even entered the NBA. He was not a highly recruited talent out of high school, as he was not ranked highly by sports publications. He was still able to accept a scholarship offer by a Division I school. In this case, it was Weber State, a university in Ogden, Utah. He had an illustrious college career, as he was named the Big Sky Conference Freshman of the Year and was named the Big Sky Player of the Year the following season. He was forced to take a medical redshirt in his junior year, as he missed most of the season with injury. A redshirt means that Lillard doesn't lose his athletic eligibility due to injury. In his next season, Lillard was lights out as he averaged 24.5 points per game, narrowly behind the nation leader Reggie Hamilton. At the end of the year, he was named to his third first-team All-Star Conference selection and won his second Big Sky Player of the Year award. He decided to forego his senior season for the NBA draft, and that was no doubt a great decision by Lillard. He would be drafted 6th overall by the Portland Trail Blazers. It didn't take long for him to make his mark. Lillard recorded 23 points and 11 assists in his NBA debut, joining Oscar Robertson and Allen Iverson as the only players in NBA history with at least 20 points and 10 assists in their NBA debut. His immediate pairing with all-star power forward LaMarcus Aldridge allowed Lillard to not only show off his shooting range, but also his passing ability, making for a potentially dangerous pick-and-roll duo. Not only was Lillard's rookie campaign memorable, it was historic. He became just the 4th player in NBA history to win the Rookie of the Year unanimously. He broke the all-time NBA rookie record for three-pointers in a season with 185, surpassing Stephen Curry's 166 in 2009-2010. Lillard also became the Portland franchise leader for most three-point field goals in a season, breaking Damon Stoudemire's record of 181 in 2004-2005. This was all in just his rookie season. The next season, he was nominated to his first All-Star game. He became the first player in NBA history to take part in 5 events during All-Star Weekend: the Rising Stars Challenge, Skills Challenge, Three-Point Contest, Slam Dunk Contest, and the All-Star Game. Not only did he improve stats-wise, but he produced one of the most iconic buzzer beaters of the last decade, which in my opinion had one of the most memorable calls of the decade.
It's Lillard. He got the shot off. Lillard, good! Good! And the Blazers win the series for the first time in 14 years!
And to top off the season, Lillard was named to the All-NBA third team. Keep in mind, this is only his second season in the NBA. His 2014 to 2015 season was a slight improvement stats-wise from his previous year, which included an All-Star appearance, but his season ended the same, losing in the playoffs, this time in the first round. However, something notable from Lillard's individual performance was where he ranked in the league in win shares. Win shares is a player's statistic which attempts to credit individual performances and their role in overall team success. During this season, Lillard ranked 8th in the league in win shares. Not bad for a third-year player. In the offseason, Lillard signed a 5-year, $120 million extension, though LaMarcus Aldridge would sign with the San Antonio Spurs. At that point, it would seem that Lillard was all alone in Portland. Enter CJ McCollum. Up to this point, McCollum was nothing more than a role player. In the 2015-2016 season, he earned the NBA's Most Improved Player award. Along with McCollum's fantastic season performance, Lillard would have his best season up to that point. His points per game skyrocketed from 21 to 25, along with other notable improvements. Unfortunately, the Blazers lost in the second round to, you guessed it, the Golden State Warriors. Though he did have his 2 best scoring games of his career up to that point, in 2 separate 50-plus point performances. Lillard would make the All-NBA second team, the best accolade of his career up to that point. One more notable tidbit: over his first 300 players in the NBA, Lillard averaged 21.2 points and 6.2 assists per game. Only 4 other players in NBA history averaged 21 points and 6 assists over their first 300 games: Oscar Robertson, Nate Archibald, LeBron James, and Dwayne Wade. Despite making further improvements in the 2016-2017 season, finishing 6th in the league in points per game, he missed another All-Star game. He would make the playoffs, but he would lose to the Warriors in the first round. On a happier note, Lillard joined Michael Jordan and LeBron James as the only 3 players to reach 8,000 points and 2,000 assists in their first 5 seasons. He also set his career-high point total up to that point with 59. As we will find out, 50-point games are a commonality for Lillard. In the 2017-2018 season, Lillard's advanced stats slightly improved, but his regular stat line was roughly the same. He finally made the All-Star game for the first time in 3 years, and he was named to the first team All-NBA, becoming only the 3rd Trailblazer in history to receive this accolade, along with Bill Walton and Clyde Drexler. In the 2018-2019 season, Lillard just continued to prove his worth and make many people question as to why they had not been talking about Lillard before. Admittedly, he didn't necessarily improve upon his numbers. What he did do was display his clutch gene. In the playoffs against the Oklahoma City Thunder, Lillard hit this shot.
Lillard, long range 3.
Lillard knocked the team out of the playoffs with a buzzer-beating 3-pointer to go along with an impressive 50-point performance. This shot was much more difficult than the first one 5 years prior. Not only was he not open, he shot a fadeaway from basically the logo. That's just ridiculous. The team made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals, and while Lillard separated his ribs in Game 2, he kept playing. Unfortunately, the team would be swept by the Warriors, though Lillard's performances would be recognized as he was given a spot in the All-NBA second team for the second time in his career. Now we are finally up to the current season. I have recapped Lillard's history of impressive accolades, rare achievements, and his ability to show up when it counts. As the Warriors dynasty is finally over, the West is up for grabs. Coming into the season, every team with playoff aspirations had their duo of stars. The Trailblazers were no different, as they had the duo of Lillard and McCollum. With the Splash Brothers out for a good chunk of the season, this duo had the potential to be the best backcourt duo in the league. And it's not hard to see why they wouldn't be. As of now, McCollum's numbers are great, but Lillard has been nothing short of incredible. On November 8th, Lillard had his first 60-point performance, which was essentially the best performance of his career, up to that point. But I want to look at something more impressive, his month of January. Let's just look at his stat line for the month: 34 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. Oh yeah, and a 61-point performance. His second 60-point game of the season. As we've established, Lillard is no stranger to this kind of performance, as seen with this chart. Lillard is 10th all time in 50-plus point games. He has had a 50-plus point game in every season since the 2015-2016 season. Curry, KD, and LeBron can't even say that. I know I'm cherry picking some stats, but from the period of January 20th to February 1st, Lillard averaged 48.8 points per game. Yes, this was only a 6-game period, but I don't care. If you're averaging nearly 50 points at any duration, you deserve recognition. This leads me to wonder, why are the Blazers barely in playoff contention? Last season, the Blazers were 53-29, finishing 3rd in the conference as they went all the way to the Western Conference Finals. Now they are fighting for the 8th seed. I have to say, Lillard is far to blame for this. If anything, he is keeping their playoff hopes alive. He currently ranks 4th in points per game, 6th in assists per game, 6th in PER, 2nd in win shares, and 1st in offensive win shares. And let's just take a closer look at that offensive win shares leaderboard. Lillard is so far ahead of pretty much everyone else. Harden is almost a full win share behind, then after him, it's over 3 win shares. Lillard is one of, if not the most valuable offensive player in the league. It's a shame that Lillard isn't the best defender because that's what's really holding him back from further recognition. Still, he's clearly established himself this season as one of the best offensive threats in the league, and possibly even the best point guard in the league as Curry is currently injured. And no, I'm not counting Harden as a point guard. Despite how great Lillard has been, he has played in an era both dominated by the Warriors and where you need multiple stars on one team to be placed among contenders. Between these factors alone, it's no wonder why Lillard hasn't received the recognition of someone like Curry or Harden. Personally, I don't believe Lillard is super underrated. Most fans know that he is a great player. However, he has done things over his career, things that I didn't even know about, that should immediately place him into the conversation among the league's best. So while his talent is not unrecognized, I believe he is underappreciated as his inability to bring championship success in a crowded Western Conference has altered our perception of him and his game. I hope that his future set of accomplishments will solidify his place among the NBA's elite. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.